Well, instead of doing full-on build videos with this boat, I think it does deserve to have updates. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. So I just finished done that earlier. We'll call it 3/4 of a day on it. So I'm going to show you what I got done today. So like I alluded to before, I just kind of start working through the systems, and this is our water lines. The inlets comes from the boat or the pump, and it goes right into the block, and it goes in on both sides. So that's what that line over there is. Comes up to a Y, and then it comes in from the transom through here. So this will plug into the pump, pull the cold water off of it, and then we control it with a ball valve right here. That's very simple, very rudimentary, kind of a way of controlling the temperature, but that's how we do it. Got it zip tied down. All these lines are in there solid. So as one of the systems, boom, check off the water system, the coolant. So that is done. The other thing I just finished, is I showed you this bracket for the hold down of the accumulator, and I had a through bolt with a nut on the backside, and it was just a pain in the butt to get to, and I was thinking like, man, that needs to be either. So I just finished using my very first time, my riv nut gun. So put some riv nuts in there. So now we just rattle those in and out with some lock washers on there. So that is done. Speaking of the accumulator, let's talk about that. So we are using this little electric actuated, I don't know what you call it, but it's essentially an electric actuated valve. So when we turn the battery on, get power on it, we hit this and it opens up the valve, and it lets the pressure in the accumulator push the oil up into the engine. You can literally hear it doing that. Got the pressure gauge back there. So this thing is pressurized. You open that up, it pushes oil up into the engine, and then you have a oil up on all your bearings and stuff when you hit that starter. As soon as your engine starts, your oil pressure build, it's gonna, with that valve open, that accumulator is essentially always pressurized at whatever oil pressure your engine is putting out. So let's say you go around a high G corner and your oil pump cavitates for just a second and you lose oil pressure. Well, you have just a few seconds of extra oil in that accumulator to kind of come to the rescue, if you will, if you ever lost oil pressure just momentarily. That's the whole design purpose of that. It's not, this is a wet sump system. It's not as foolproof as a full-on dry sump, but hey, it works, and it's pretty simple. Started working the wiring for the alternator, the HEI, and kind of finished up some of the center console. Got the wiring routed for the oil pressure, as well as the water temperature goes into the neck up there. And speaking of, so we got the ball valve back there, and then it just exits out here and dumps overboard the side of the boat there. So that is essentially the entire cooling system. And the oil pressure comes up, gets fed off the block right there. Another kind of cool thing that I'm pretty excited about is the electric reverse on this. I had to change the switch out. This is I don't know why they make it so long, but this is the one that comes from Southern Jet. I had some of these around for my mini boats, so I just swapped it out, put the little rubber guard on it so it is a little bit more waterproof, and started working on the wiring. So these switches, it's a reverse polarity, so you get your two signals coming in, and then you cross them so that when you go the other way, you get the signal, and then you put either positive or negative up on those terminals. It doesn't really matter. So there's 6 terminals on these things, and the only thing I had to do was run, because Southern Jet had these 4 with the crossovers already. And then I just ran and made my own 2-prong for the positive and negative that also go up into the switch up here, really clean. Then this little wiring is the reverse indicator. So I put that right on the steering wheel, so you're going to be able to see when those lights light up, the position of that reverse bucket. So that's pretty simple, and this was routed. I just routed it underneath the gunwale. You can see I put just drilled holes, and that runs all the way back here to the reverse actuator, and that thing is zip tied up and cleaned up and out of the way. So, trying to think, feel like there's something else, just a little bit more of the wiring and getting that all finished. The only issue that I have with putting this here is I just ordered a tack and I kind of wanted to put it there. I might move things around, but I got to decide what exactly I'm going to do. So, honestly, this thing, all I got to do is throw the carburetor on there, throw the valve cover breather crossover on there, throw the other set of headers and connect the drive line, throw in some seats, throw in some gas, and go test this thing. I honestly think that I'm probably only about 2 days away of getting this thing ready to be test run. So, but of course, now guess what? Got to go to work. So this thing's going to get sidelined, but we're making really good progress. And I'm also going up to Whistler for some family time. So I'm not going to be able to do all this stuff until for a few days, almost a week. But anyway, I just thought I'd give everybody an update on this as it goes. It's not exactly full-on build video, but I'm going to do the shorter 5 to 6 minute kind of recap on what's going on. I think everybody would enjoy that, at least better than nothing, and we'll get this thing tested and on the water. I think the next thing I also got to do is get Chris over here, get him sat in the seat, get the foot pedal, the gas pedal adjusted just exactly right, get that steering wheel adjusted exactly right. These things are not set yet, so I can move the whole steering column in and out without moving the location of that thing. So I'm gonna probably cut that off once we finally get those set. But anyway, we're making some good progress. Next thing you know, we'll be having this thing on the water. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.